Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine this. The sky is darkening, the wind's picking up, and the first drops of rain are starting to fall. A storm's about to crash down on a small town that's already seen too much hardship. In that moment, as others rushed to safety, a single dad, a man with nothing to his name but a dented pickup truck, two calloused hands, and a heart full of quiet hope, climbs a ladder to fix the roof of a stranger's home. Not because he was paid. Not because someone told him to. But because he knew what it felt like to be left behind when life storms through. That man's name was Jake. And his story, well, it's not just a tale of nails and shingles. It's a lesson about integrity, faith, and the unexpected rewards of doing the right thing, especially when no one's watching. Jake wasn't the kind of man you'd read about in magazines or see on the evening news. He didn't own a business, or land $1 million deal. He was just a struggling single father trying to raise his daughter, Emily, in a world that felt like it had forgotten men like him even existed. Every morning, Jake woke up before dawn to pick up odd jobs, roof patching, lawn work, hauling scrap, anything to keep the lights on and a few cans of soup in the pantry. And every evening, he helped his daughter with homework by candlelight, because the power had been shut off again. But he never complained, not once, because in his heart, he believed that if he just kept doing good, eventually good would find its way back. And it did, but not in the way he expected. One day, just before a Category 2 storm was set to tear through the area, Jake got a call from his friend at the local hardware store. "Old woman up on Ridge Hill Road," he said. "Roof's coming apart. She's alone. Can't get up there herself." Now, Ridge Hill Road wasn't close. It was an hour drive into the hills. And Jake had just enough gas in the truck to make it there, or get his daughter to school the next morning. But without hesitation, he packed up his tools, kissed Emily on the forehead, and drove straight into the storm. When he arrived, he found the house already half peeled by the wind. An older woman, quiet and kind, greeted him with a hesitant smile. Her name was Martha. She didn't have much to say, and Jake didn't ask many questions. He just climbed the ladder and got to work. He worked through the thunder and gusting rain, hands numb and soaked, hammer in hand, boots slipping on wet shingles. He didn't stop until the job was done and the roof was sealed tight. Martha brought him a towel and some coffee, both trembling in her hands. She asked him why he came, why he helped. And Jake just smiled and said, because it needed to be done. Storms don't wait, and neither should kindness. He didn't know, not then, that Martha wasn't just some sweet lady living alone on the hill. You see, Martha wasn't just a homeowner. She was a landowner. In fact, she owned over half the land across the state, farmlands, timber, rentals, even the hardware store Jake bought his supplies from. She had wealth beyond imagination. But she kept to herself, humble, testing the world with moments like these. Jake left that night without asking for a cent. Just a handshake and a nod. But the next morning, everything changed. He woke up to a knock on the door. Standing there were two men in suits, and Martha. Behind her, a moving truck filled with food, furniture, clothes for Emily, and boxes marked, "Paid in full." She'd paid off his debts. She'd set up a scholarship for his daughter. And she handed him a contract, one that offered Jake a full-time position managing her properties, with a salary that would change their lives forever. He didn't fix that roof for money. He fixed it because it was the right thing to do. And that is the heart of this message today. We live in a world obsessed with what we can get. We scroll and swipe, hustle and grind, always asking, what's in it for me? But Jake's story reminds us, the greatest rewards don't come from chasing wealth. They come from choosing character when no one's looking. It's easy to be kind when there's a camera on you, when there's applause waiting, when you expect a return on your good deed. But real strength, the kind that transforms lives, comes from selfless acts done in silence. Because sometimes, the biggest breakthroughs are hidden behind the smallest moments. A patched roof, a shared meal, a kind word, or a man who chooses to climb a ladder, not knowing he's ascending into a brand new chapter of his life. Jake didn't have much, but he had enough. Enough heart, enough grit, enough goodness to change not just his world, but his daughter's future. So, to all the single parents out there, to the tired workers, to the invisible heroes fixing roofs in the storm, I say this: don't give up. Keep climbing, keep showing up, Keep doing the right thing, even when it's hard. Even when no one sees it. Because someone is watching. Maybe not a wealthy landowner. Maybe not someone with power. But life itself is keeping score. And when the timing is right, everything you poured out will come pouring back in ways you never imagined. Jake's story isn't just about luck or chance. It's about faith. About perseverance. About doing what's right, not because you'll be rewarded, but because you refuse to live any other way. And in the end, that's what makes the biggest difference. So when your storm comes, and trust me, it will, ask yourself, will you wait for help, or will you become the help someone else is praying for? Climb the ladder, patch the roof, and trust that the universe has a way of honoring those who do good, especially when no one's watching. Thank you.